Yo, what's going on, guys? DJS here. Bringing you guys a video here. Wanted to have a little discussion topic here about the LeBron's series, basically, and your guys' thoughts on if Nike should be, or if you think they will be, retroing these in the future. Now, there's a couple different topics, I guess, subtopics within this that we can hit, a couple different perspectives, and hopefully get you thinking just in general about this subject, because it's something that could potentially happen in the future, but there's definitely pros and cons, in my opinion, to them actually doing something like this. And I'm kind of on the fence. I'm not necessarily too strong, like opinionated on either way that they should actually do this. But obviously, you know that the Jordan series, and I'll show you these guys in the background. You can't see them. Just a couple of them. I mean, these are most of the Jordans over here, like right in this area down here. But these guys right here are the ones I have out. The Bread 4s and the Carmine 4s, just left over from the last video I did. And then I'll just show you guys a kind of up close before I put the camera down. This is the Elite Collection right back here that I have. Big Bangs, the LeBron 2s, Generation 1 first games with the date etched in the inside. Love those ones actually quite a bit. And the 10s and just miscellaneous Entourage, Mangoes, and Crown Royals. But basically this is kind of an interesting topic, and it's one of those ones I think I might have covered a little bit in another video, but I figured it definitely deserved its own topic. And so here's the thing, like, I think that Jordan has done a phenomenal job retroing shoes, and it's been a very successful market for them, and maybe not necessarily dollar value wise, because if they release them in limited quantities, that means the amount of overall sales for the company isn't like as big as maybe, like, I mean, because basically it's like this: you go into a retro drops this Saturday, you go into a Nike store, you pick out your one pair of Jordans, and you leave. Meanwhile, they have a completely full store of other items in that store that you didn't buy. You just came over and bought those one retros, and they sold out because they made them limited. Everything else in the store is not limited. So it sells out when it does, and sometimes it goes on sale if it doesn't sell out, and supply and demand, whatever it is. But it's been a cornerstone of sneakers since they've really done this retroing of these shoes from 20 years ago or whatever it is. So in 20 years from now, do you think LeBron will actually have that same type of pull, or do you think that Jordans will just keep retroing and still kind of maintain that throne? Obviously, in 10 years, there's going to be another great that comes along that will take the place of LeBron or take the place of Kobe or whoever it might be. And it's kind of fun thinking about that, because I remember when LeBron first came on and Nike signed him with his first pair of shoes. They signed a 10-year contract, and this was his first pair of shoes that he released. First game he played in the NBA was with these guys right here, the Zoom Generations. They weren't even LeBron ones technically; they were the Zoom Generations, and they gave him a multi-million-dollar contract straight out of high school. You never know when the next LeBron James is going to come around and just be that high caliber of an athlete and just dominate the game. And you know, it's going to happen soon. Whenever it does happen, maybe 10 years. What type of shoes are those guys going to get? And then will we be looking at the LeBrons as he was, like, as Jordan is, I guess, as a classic or not? And that's kind of one of those things I'm not 100% sure on. And one of the things that I wanted to touch base on for sure is the Lebron Tens. The fact is Jordans had, like, the Jordan 10, I think, had maybe 5 or 6 different core colorways when the Jordan 10s were launched. The LeBron 10s right here, I'm pretty sure they've had over a dozen, maybe 15 colorways dropped this year alone already. Not to mention all the different colorways they had in the 9s, and then they had the 9 lows, and then they had the elites. So, like, the collection of the LeBrons is far surpasses anything that the Jordan brand has done for any specific sneaker. When you go from like 5 colorways a year, like the Jordan 4s or 5s, and then they retro them back, and then it's cool because they were able to bring them back, and you get that same nostalgic feeling. And I covered part of this in that a video that I did about the nostalgic feeling for sneakers being lost because of this, and also because they always have PEs that they wear in the game, and the sneakers that you actually would see Jordan rock, like back in the day, like these guys, the Bread 4s, you'd see Jordan wearing those. You don't see LeBron wearing the Black History Months every game for half of a season or whatever it is, or just in the playoffs or whatever it is. Like, it's just totally different than the way it used to be. That in mind, there's so many colorways that are dropped. You never know which ones, if they do potentially retro them, which ones they'll actually end up retroing, even if they do. So because it's just overdone, I think, in my opinion. They need to just have a little bit more limited supply of the retros. But at the same time, like my LeBron IDs that you see in the middle down towards the bottom, I love these shoes. The fact that I was able to ID these and make these like mine made it awesome. So the fact that it's kind of open like that is a good thing. But at the same time, I just don't understand how they're going to pick which ones they're going to want to retro. The other aspect that I kind of want to cover a little bit about is market value of the sneakers. Obviously, anytime you have a re-retro of a sneaker, the dollar value of the shoe drops significantly. And an example of that would be the grapes. Like, the grapes were huge 2 years ago. Before we even heard of the retro of the grapes, people were paying a lot of money for those shoes. Now I see a lot more people dropping and trying to sell their grapes now before the new ones drop, because they know that the price is going down, so they want to get a decent price for them. Now, for myself personally, I don't really care about that, but I know there's a lot of people out there that do care about it. And let's be real, like, you want to know, like, you kind of want to get an idea what the market value of your sneaker's worth. I mean, unless you're kind of made of money, you're not going to give a crap about any of that. Some of it, though, is like important. I mean, it's important to know the value of something, I guess. But if the value goes down, like, those people that have kept the sneaker for that long are going to just feel salty when it comes back around, and their kicks that were $800 or $1,000 are now worth $400 or something like that. So I guess that's one aspect of it. I think that's a very small amount of people, because most of the time people are like there's a general release of a shoe that happens, and maybe 90% of the population rocks the crap out of those shoes. Maybe a 10% or 5% of the population keeps the shoes, DS, and then has them infinitely in great condition. Meanwhile, the other 95% or 90% that had the shoe will lust after that shoe like crazy in 10 years or 15 years and want to bring them back a little bit, and that feeling they had when they had them the first time around. So I can understand, like, them possibly retroing some of them, but I think it's almost impossible now to retro every single colorway, because there's just so many of them now. And even when the LeBron generations came out, there was only a couple colorways of this one. There was only a handful of colorways as far as I know. I mean, I remember there was a gray pair as well, and I don't know how many other pairs, but there was only a handful of the LeBron 2s, and then so on. But as we moved on and on and on, it's just an infinite amount of colorways with the 8s, 9s, 10s, and so on. So I don't know. Let me just know your guys' thoughts on this. I just am curious. It was kind of one of those fun topics. I thought that came up from, I think, a Q&A video, and people have asked me in comment sections below kind of my thoughts on this. I think it would be cool to see them retro. I guess in summary, I think it would be kind of cool to see some of them retro again. But the time and place isn't now. You know, obviously in 10 years or whatever, there's going to be a lot of people that might crave the LeBron 9s again, or whatever it might be. But who's to actually know the future of sneakers and what will be hot in like 10 years or now? You know, it's something else could totally skip over the dynasty of what LeBron had to offer, or something tragic or crazy could happen, and like Michael Vick sort of situation, which is crazy because actually I had a pair of Michael Vick samples and I wish I never got rid of them, because I mean, it would be a conversation piece for sure nowadays, because obviously Nike's probably not backing him anymore. But you never know, like, what could end up happening. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Yes or no? Do you guys care about LeBron retro, or are you guys just focused on the next thing? You guys don't think you'll really care about LeBron and his kind of dynasty of sneakers. I can't believe he has 10 years under Nike's belt already, though. That means, man, that means I'm old. Anyway, that's all I got. This is pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and appreciate the support again, as usual. You guys are just kick-ass, dude. I can't believe I hit 18,000 subscribers recently, which is just crazy to me. This is my second channel that's doing pretty dang well on it, and I really appreciate all of the comments and all of the activity you guys are leaving here. But have a good one, guys. This is going on 10 minutes. Too much rambling. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.